Welcome back, everybody, to Louisiana's finest podcast, the Big Easy Blitz podcast. In this episode, Brock and I will be covering briefly on the Saints, and then actually, literally, as I'm recording this, I'm just remembering something I want to briefly talk about with the Pelicans. I'm sure you saw it. I'm not sure if you did. It regards Ace Bailey. I'll
I
get
did
into
not see
I'll
that.
get
Yeah.
into that
Yeah.
soon. And then Brock's gonna do a deep dive into Arkansas, actual fact checked
Yes. Yes.
uh,
Yes.
dive into Arkansas as a baseball team, and then we're gonna wrap up with our predictions for the bracket in Omaha. So, Brock, you got anything before I get into Olave's quote?
No. Like Connor said, just gonna be probably kind of quick episode. We're gonna deep dive into a quote that Connor sent me. It's kind of interesting regarding Saints. And then we're actually gonna sound like we know what we're talking about when we talk about Arkansas, because I did do a deep dive into it. And yeah, well, you'll see what we have coming up.
Yep. All right. First, I'd like to preface what I'm wearing. Brock and I are Saints fans. To all my fellow LSU fans, this is a Chris Olave jersey. Okay. Just kind of to clear the air on that. Uh, Brock, I can tell you're a little upset by it, but
No, 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 no. I mean, I've seen you wear that shirt a lot. I understand. I mean, I know what you're wearing, but some other people might
yeah.
not.
Look, if in case you'll there, you see it, Brock, you see it.
Yep, yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. All right,
Olaf.
Olaf. All right, but getting into the quote. So this is word for word what Olave said. On the trade rumors, because as y'all probably have seen, there's been rumors floating around about the Saints shopping him maybe to Pittsburgh. The Steelers have been inquiring about him, or the Browns. So this is what Olave's got to say. It's all rumors, man. Everybody's trying to have something for clicks. I love it here, man. I love the front office. I love my coaches. I'm excited to be here, and I want to be here forever. This is where I want to be. So look, as a Saints fan, that could not be better. A quote like that could not be better from your star receiver. Now, with that out of the way, we just need him to stay on the field. I mean, when Olave's on the field, I would say, is a top 15 receiver in the league.
Not ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, yeah, borderline top 15. I wouldn't say he's like top 10 or anything, but
He
at his
can
best, I
reach
could
he
see.
can reach that. I
Yeah,
mean, if he
yeah.
just stays on the field for a full season and doesn't have Andy Dalton throwing him the ball, he'll be he'll be a top receiver in this league. But look, Olave has always been one of my favorite Saints, and for him to say something like that, I mean, for my fellow Saints fans, y'all let me know. But I mean, that's a good feeling, in my opinion. That's
I
a
agree.
really um, settling quote with me. It makes me happy. It makes me content.
And one thing I want to touch on with that, I feel like since we've hired Kellen Moore, it's kind of like the culture's kind of changed a bit. I know
Yeah, yeah,
Justin
yeah.
Justin Reed came out and said that like just like pretty much the culture has shifted from more of a I wouldn't say Super Bowl winning, but he's bringing like a Super Bowl winning culture into New Orleans. This is
Yeah.
a quote directly from Justin Reed. I saw that actually recently. So we'll see. Maybe they surprise us this year. I doubt it because I mean we're an old I mean, we're a talented roster, but very old
Yeah.
roster. But we'll see. You never know.
Yeah. And you mentioned how we've kind of had like a regime change in the front office and coaching staff. Never would a player say something like this last year with Dennis Allen heading the team.
Yeah,
Never would
I agree.
somebody say that, let alone Olave. So, um, so yeah, that's all I got for that. And then real quick on the Pelicans, um, I saw Boot Crew Media put this out that the Pelicans were looking to move up in the draft to take Ace Bailey. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna cover this more when we get closer to the draft. The drafts I want to say on the 25th of June. So we'll do like an episode strictly on the draft. But I just thought that was very interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess it really depends on what we'd have to give up, you know?
Mhm.
Because I'm not giving up like an additional first round pick to move up 3 spots to get a prospect I'm not in love with,
Right.
you know? So
I don't know much about college basketball yet, but I thought Ace Bailey was like a solidified top four, right?
he he is, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not in love with him as a prospect. I'll get more into
Well,
that though later.
um, yeah. What pick did it have us trading up to?
Four,
Do you remember?
four. He would
Four.
be number
Okay.
four. Um, but yeah,
I
we can
feel
move
like
on to
I feel like we really have to give up a lot for that though. That's the only issue I'd
yeah.
have.
hmm
But yeah, that's all. I mean, unless you have something else to talk about with Pelicans or Saints.
No, we can move on to the LSU versus Arky preview.
Yes, I'm gonna preview Archie baseball. An actual deep dive into Archie baseball here. So last episode, I said that they can hit. Now I'm gonna talk about other things that they can actually do. Instead of just hit. They lead the SEC in fielding at 984.
Okay.
And LSU's at 981. ERA, they are fourth in the SEC at 391, and LSU is 382. They were one spot above them.
hmm
Um, some of the sorry, little technical difficulties. I had a guest walk in my room just now. Um, some offensive stats that they lead in the SEC. This is just strictly SEC because SEC is the best conference in the country. I don't want to hear anything else. Okay.
Objectively.
No, it's not subjective. You could look at stats. Yeah, they've had a down year this year, but they won five out of the last six natties. Okay, it's not even close.
hmm
I think they've won five straight actually. They've won whatever.
I don't know
Anyway,
who else would have, but
yeah. But yeah, Arkansas they lead the SEC and just bear with me because this is a lot. Batting average, on base percentage, runs scored, and RBIs. And then their top three in slugging percentage, hits, home runs, and total bases. They can hit.
so you
Okay,
weren't wrong. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they're the best offensive team I would argue in the country. Now I haven't watched. I mean, I'm sure some other teams might statistically have better offenses just because of. I mean, no offense or disrespect, but lesser opponents.
Yeah.
Um, but this team, you need to be on your A game on the mound to beat this team. And LSU, to credit LSU, they were last time they played them. I think you made the comment earlier that Wahiwa Aloy, and yes, we know that there's two brothers now. Okay, that was a mistake last episode. There's Wahiwa and Kuhio. Um, so yeah, Wahiwa. Let me just start with him. I just had it pulled up. Just hold on one second. He leads the SEC in runs scored. He is okay. His teammate leads in hits, but he's right behind him at one and two. Charles
hmm
Davalin. I think I said that right. RBIs, he's tied for second with actually coincidentally Jared Jones. He's right behind Justin LeBron for first. Shout outs,
Swoot.
Brandon. Um, hold on, let me. Sorry, having a little. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Back up. Kuhio is tied for second in RBIs.
Okay, yeah, get that
At
right.
yeah, with RBIs. Okay, let me just start with Wahiwa and then I'll move to Kuhio because like he's top three to four in almost everything. Doubles he is tied for I guess second with 18. Shout out Derek Currio, he's first with 19. Um, Home runs, well, he was got 20. He's a little far behind there. Still insane. Um, he leads the SEC in total bases, and he is third in wait, never mind. That's irrelevant. So yeah, I mean, he's kind of there. He's the captain of their team. He's the rock. When he goes, Arkansas goes. We saw in the LSU series, he had a bad series. Arkansas lost the series. Um, it's just how it is. When he's on, the whole team's on. And
Yeah.
then Kuhio, his brother, he was leading the SEC for a while in RBIs. I guess Justin LeBron had a good end of the season because he jumped him by two. But yeah, their whole lineup is good, but it's really whenever you watch him, whenever he was struggling, their whole team tends to struggle. It's just from what I've watched. I haven't watched a ton of games. I know some Arky fans are going to be in our comments, like they were in the last video or TikTok. Um, Fact checking us now. I'm not an Arky fan, so I'm not going to keep up with Arky. Um, I'm an LSU fan, so I watch Arky when LSU plays Arky. Um, I'm sorry.
You're dragging it.
Uh,
You're dragging it.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Well,
So
look.
yeah, they're
Um,
they're they're a good squad.
yeah. So going off the series they played against LSU, Anderson and Ianson combined struck out 21 Arkansas batters. In the game against Ianson, um, I want to say our boy Wahiwa Aloy was over with 3 Ks, I want to say. Um, so if I guess that's not going to matter because Anderson's going to be pitching game one. But Anderson, they scored 3 runs off of Anderson. However, Anderson did have 10 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings. So, I mean, Anderson versus Root's going to be a good game. Root pitched 6 innings, allowed 2 runs, struck out six. Um, so I think it could be a pitcher's duel. It could be, a shootout. Who really knows? I think it'll be a close game regardless, though.
Yeah. I'd probably lean towards pitcher's duel just because Charles Schwab Field's a large field.
A
It's very big.
graveyard? Yeah.
It's oh, ooh, that's
Shut up.
got you there. Yeah, I think it's like 410 to center. It's the biggest field these teams are gonna play on. So I would lean towards more pitcher's duel, but you never know. 'Cause I think
Yeah.
LSU can score in many different ways, and so can Arkansas. So I'm gonna talk. Ooh, my bad. So Arkansas in the season, in the non-conference, they went uh 28-3. Um, I know I broke down some of their key wins. Early in the season, they swept Washington State, a 4-game sweep. I don't know much about Arkansas or Washington State, but they are a Division I program.
That is true.
They lost
Good
to
insight,
Kansas
bro.
State. They they, they lost to Kansas State, who LSU beat earlier in the season. But then they came back and they beat number 22 TCU, or right at the time they were ranked 22, and then Michigan, who I feel like is always kind of a solid program. They were in Omaha a few years ago. They made the championship actually a few years ago. And then other than that, their non-conference is pretty weak. Coming from an LSU fan, we had probably the easiest non-conference schedule in the country, but theirs
Yeah.
doesn't look much better. Um, they to open the season, they beat ranked number 13 Ole Miss in Oxford. They lost game one and came back and dominated them the next 2 games, 12-3 and then 12-9. Um, then I wrote this down just because I thought it was interesting. What was it? Oh, my bad. Let me start with this. They swept Vanderbilt early in the season when Vandy was ranked 14. Obviously, Vandy was, the national number one seed.
Yeah. They
Um,
caught fire later in the season.
yeah, kind of fraudulent. I mean, we touched on that earlier, but that's not for us to talk about now. We're in Omaha now, so I don't care about what the rankings are because the field's set. But looking at this, they really dominated Vandy in over 3 games, 9-0. It was close to second game, 6-4 in 10 innings, and then 7-3. And then after that, I wrote this down just because I thought, it's an SEC team, Missouri, who was awful this year, but they beat them 21-3.
Yeah.
Just
Football
shows
score.
you, yeah, it just shows you how the whole series was bad. Now that I'm looking at it, every game was a mercy rule. 21-3, 14-4, and then 16-2.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Brock, but didn't LSU have like a dogfight with Missouri in a game or two in their
Yeah, I think
series?
game one, if I'm
I
not
think it was
mistaken,
game one. I think it
game
was
one or
game one.
two, like we needed Casey Evans shout out to come in and slam the door at the end of the game to win. His first SEC series, he needed to come in and save LSU pretty much.
Yeah.
And then this is what I wrote down. They lost their last six SEC series, which is kind of why they dropped in the third overall seed because they were like solidified number one for a while, like for a couple weeks actually, and then
Yeah.
they lost to Georgia. Then they lost to A&M, who at the time was kind of catching fire, but they still weren't very good. And then they lost to Florida, and then they swept Texas. It was kind of weird. They lost 3 straight series and then swept the number
Swept
one team in the
Texas.
country.
It's kind of odd.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then in there, they actually played Arkansas Little Rock, a 2-game series, beat them 10-0 and 4-0. Shout out the Trojans of Little Rock. There we go.
Yep, just
Um,
landed Michael O'Brien from John Curtis in the
hmm
transfer portal.
Local kid. And then after they got swept by Texas, after they swept Texas, I'm sorry, they came to Baton Rouge, and we all remember that game, that series. Game one, we won. LSU won on a walk off, and then game two, Anthony Ianson just dealed the entire game.
Dealt.
I think he threw a complete. Was it a complete game or did he throw 6 innings?
No, it was 6 innings.
Okay. Well, they only played seven, so
Yeah.
that's why I said that. Then we won LSU won 13-3. It's completely dominated them. Really, if I remember correctly, should have been 13-0, but I think we gave or it should
Yeah.
have been 12-0, but LSU gave up 3 runs in the top of the seventh, and then they had to come back and score one. That was when, if you remember, Connor, whoever was batting struck out, and the runner got too far off the third, and the catcher tried to throw it down the third, and he made a bad throw. And then the third baseman tried to throw it back home, and he made a bad throw, and we won. It
Oh.
was a crazy walk-off,
Mhm.
or walk-off, I guess,
Yeah,
with
and
run
this
rule.
Maverick Grizzy gave up 3 runs at the
Yeah,
top of the last. So
yeah, yeah. Maverick Rizzi threw very well in the supers. But yeah, then after they got pretty embarrassed at LSU. They came back and they beat Tennessee in a series. Arky's really had Tennessee's number this year. They beat them 4 out of 5 times.
mhm.
With obviously we all remember the last game, or not the game, the Zach Root game when he pitched. Got a little feisty there. Um,
As
just
does every typical Tennessee SEC game.
yes,
But
every time Tennessee can't lose and it be fair. Something you always got to come up. But yeah, I mean, this team, they've had their ups and downs. But they were really hot to begin the year. They no, I wouldn't say plummeted, but they struggled mightily towards the end. But they're turning it on again. If you watched any bit of that Tennessee series,
yeah, they swung it.
yeah, they like I said, they can hit. Can't let them beat you with their bats, which sounds kind of ridiculous to say out loud because that's how they win. But LSU did it in their series, so let's just see how it goes.
Yeah, uh, summed it up pretty well, Brock. It's going to be a great game. It's definitely going to be the best game of or at least most anticipated game of the first round of the College World Series. And
Mhm.
odds are, winner of this first game is going to win it all.
I would hold off on that because I mean we disrespected Coastal Carolina once, so I don't want to do it again.
You're right. You're right.
Um,
But
but speaking of that, we're gonna give our predictions right now. Kind of a
the winner of
perfect.
this game is going to have be in a very good position. Let's just say
Yes,
that,
yes, yes, yes.
especially with Murray State and UCLA being on the other side.
I would agree. I would say this. I would say this is Murray State is this year's Oral Roberts from 2023.
Hmm.
But I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, Oral Roberts won a game. Pretty sure they beat somebody.
They might have. I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head. I just remember how it ended. And everybody here in Louisiana loves how that ended. But yeah, let's get into so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna predict each opening round game, and then we're gonna pick who we think is gonna come out of each side of the bracket.
Hmm.
So we'll start. I'm looking at it right here. I don't know, Connor, if you're looking at it, but it's Coastal versus Arizona.
Hmm. Yep. Go ahead, Brock.
I'm taking Coastal.
Yeah.
Uh, that's pretty obvious. But I'm taking Coastal. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
And then there goes Brock. I also am going to be taking Coastal. I mean, in that Auburn series, um, their pitching looked dominant. I mean, Auburn's a very good team, and they kind of shut them down. And Brock's back now. So, Brock, what you
all
got?
good.
What you got for
Um,
Oregon State Louisville?
Oregon State, Louisville. What'd you talk about with Coastal? Who'd
I'm
you
taking.
pick?
I also have Coastal and
Okay,
how
yeah,
dominant their
yeah,
pitching is.
yep. Yeah, Coastal, Oregon State, Louisville. Um, I'll take Oregon State just because I watched them play Florida State and they play very well. But I wouldn't sleep on Louisville. They're a good squad. I can see them giving Oregon State a run for their money.
Yeah. Hmm.
I don't know if you
Uh,
watched that Miami. First off, let me start. Louisville's field, easily the weirdest college baseball field I've ever seen.
yeah. Especially the outfield.
Yeah,
The
that
outfield's the weirdest
it's
part.
just every time a fly ball was hit, it threw me off. Just like I can't even explain it. If you missed it, Louisville's field, the way it's set up, it's like it's the padding, but there's two like windows or
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
it's see through. Everybody can see
it's
through it. It's like
transparent.
yeah, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I didn't like it, but thank God we don't have to watch that this time because we're in Omaha, and I think that Oregon State gets it done here. Louisville's got a disgusting left-handed pitcher. I think he's a freshman, but I don't think he's throwing game one, so they won't have to matter. So I'm taking the Beavs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be too chalk with this because obviously it's baseball, anything can happen, but I'm also going to agree with you. I have Oregon State. I mean, first of all, Oregon State beat Florida State, who I believe is better than Miami, who Louisville beat. And obviously both series were very close, but I think Oregon State has a slight upper hand over Louisville. I
Yeah.
think Louisville's all right. I think it kind of just gotten hot at the right time.
hmm I agree. All right, moving on. I'm gonna let you go first here, just because I want to see where you go with this.
Yeah. I love the racers from Murray State. And I really don't think UCLA is all that good. I think, okay, I'm not going to say that. UCLA is a solid team. I don't think they're world beaters.
Mhm.
That being said, I'm still going to take the Bruins.
Yeah. I think UCLA kind of got bailed out by avoiding Texas, if I'm being honest.
100%, yeah.
Bailed out. I mean, no disrespect to UTSA, but come on. I mean, if UCLA played Texas, I think Texas would be in Omaha right now. I don't know actually if you saw, but Connor, Texas made shoes, and on the inside of the shoes it said University of Texas at Omaha, and then Texas failed
Oh,
to reach the Super Regionals. Just
that's
found that
not good,
funny.
man. That's not good.
Um,
Bad
as
look.
a, as somebody who thinks the SEC is the best, I'm so glad Texas isn't in because I don't like Texas. Um, but we digress. I'm taking the Racers here. The kids are
Good.
hot. I think they've lost only one game so far in the postseason. Or no, two. I'm sorry. They've lost two. But the
Yeah.
kids are hot. This is the first time they have no, like I said before, they don't have any pressure. They shouldn't be here anyway, so they can just go out and play ball, have fun. I think all the pressure in the world's on UCLA in this game to not lose to a little old Murray State, who
hmm
has a stadium capacity of 800 people.
That is
I'm gonna say that again.
unreal. That is
800 people in Murray State Stadium, and they're about to go play in front of 24,000. That
800
is
people.
unreal. That is, I don't know. I mean, everything in the world is pointing against Murray State in this game. That's why I'm taking them because it's
Yeah.
baseball.
hmm Dude, I mean, Murray State's proven time and time again that they're not an ordinary four seed. I
No,
mean,
45 wins.
yeah, I mean, 45 wins. Um, I mean, okay, maybe they're playing weaker competition, I think, in the Missouri Valley. But anytime a team has that many wins, you can't really overlook them. I know Fairfield had a really good record and we kind of overlooked them. But I guess it's like we keep saying, we sound like broken records, man, but it's baseball. And especially with a team with 45 wins, anything's possible. But I'm still going to ride with the Bruins. All right, moving on now to the nightcap, LSU Arkansas. What you got, Brock?
Yep. The game everybody's anticipating. That's why it was the last game of the opening round. Whew. I I really could flip a coin for this game. Like I have no idea. I don't know which it depends on which LSU team's gonna show up.
Brock, what hat are you wearing?
I'm picking LSU. I'm just saying. It
Thank you.
depends on which LSU team shows up. If we get the team that played in the supers and uh, played in the supers and then game seven of the regional, I think LSU wins this game easily. But if it's always that thought of, the first or the second Little Rock game, I guess, if that team shows up, I'm nervous about that.
Yeah, I mean, look, both teams are overqualified, and it's going to be Anderson versus Root, and the only time Arkansas played Anderson, they hit him a little bit.
Mhm.
With that being said, I'm going with LSU. Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. We're taking LSU.
Yeah, no, I mean it's going to be a really good game. I know the Arkansas fans are going to be pissed in the comment section, but I mean it's really flip a coin, and us two being LSU fans, I mean you can't really blame us for riding with the hometown team.
Right.
So
I don't know. I mean, I still think it's stupid that the two best teams in Omaha have to play in the first round. But I mean, that's not our we can't change that. So
maybe Brock, you know what we need to do? I think would be a good ep or idea for an episode. If we just like gave ideas on how to like modify events like the College World Series for the better. For example, like reseeding. Like I think reseeding
mhm.
would be the best a good idea. You know?
Yeah,
Because
I
it's just
think they
jam
should.
packed. I don't like why would the two best teams play each other in the first round?
I agree,
It
especially
makes no
when there's
sense
so
to me.
many national seeds that have lost for
Exactly. There's
this
so many
year.
ups. Whatever. I
I mean, we
digress.
could we could do that right now. We could. You want to reseed the teams if we wanted to right now, real quick, because we still got a good amount of time left.
Well, let's finish the predictions and then let's go back to reseeding.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so yeah, that's our predictions. We have uh Coastal, Oregon State. I have Murray State, you have UCLA, and then we both have LSU.
Yep. So Coastal, Oregon State, where are you going?
Coast. God, that I disrespected the Chanticleers once. I'm gonna take them again. I'm not gonna disrespect them this time. Give me them. I think they have nothing to lose as well. I mean, everybody's doubting them so far. I mean, the amount of people that picked against them in their own regional is insane. And then again, when they went to Auburn, nobody had them winning.
I'll wear that one. I'll
And
wear
then
that one.
they swept Auburn. So I mean, I'm taking Coastal. I think they're red hot right now, and I'm gonna take them all the way to the championship series.
I
No
agree with
spoiler.
I agree with you, Brock. I have Coastal beating Oregon State. Their pitching is dominant. Um, and I mean, look, if they can beat a team like Auburn, they certainly can beat a team like Oregon State.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
for sure.
I'm riding with the Chants.
The shots. So yeah, I think we'll do that. I think the team that goes 0-2 in this bracket is Louisville, actually. I don't know
Okay.
why. I just had that feeling because Arizona got embarrassed against North Carolina and they came back and beat them. So I feel like they bounced back well off of a loss. But I mean, that doesn't really matter who goes 0-2. I just thought we'd throw
Yeah,
that in there.
I'm not gonna touch too much on that because I really don't know any damn thing about Louisville or Arizona.
It's all good. Moving on. I think the winner of LSU Arkansas is going to walk into the championship series, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, me too.
Even if like the loser of game one, I think can come back through the losers bracket.
100%.
So, thank you UCLA and Murray State for coming. I think they are two good teams, but they just happen to be put in the harder side of the bracket,
Yep.
which is why reseeding should be a thing. But yeah, I mean, I think I have LSU going to the championship series against Coastal, but that's just because probably I'm an LSU fan. But yeah, what you got, Connor?
I agree with you. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
LSU kind of handling whichever team. I have UCLA, but whichever team comes out of that section of the bracket.
Hmm.
So back.
I think Coastal and LSU. I don't think LSU. This is weird. I don't think LSU is gonna sweep through. I also don't think Coastal is gonna sweep through. But if I had to pick a team that has a better chance of sweeping through, it'd probably be Coastal, just because they have a very good number three pitcher. And
No
I mean LSU.
disrespect to Case and Evans, but
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But if LSU has to use Casey Evans in game one or two,
exactly.
I have no idea who's gonna throw game three.
And Coastal's got three good
Studs. Yeah,
starting arms. So
yeah, very good.
I would agree with that take. I think if a team were to go undefeated, I think it would be Coastal. Surely off the pitching. Um, but
For
anything
sure.
can happen. We'll
For
see.
sure.
It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah. And then we have LSU Coastal Natty. Um, I mean, come on. That's pretty obvious. LSU's got the best 1-2 punch in the country. It's not even gonna get to a game three. And I got LSU capturing number 8 this year. Probably
It is.
not the most entertaining pick since we're both LSU fans.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
if you're watching this, what did you expect? This is probably the best chance LSU's gonna have to win number 8. Because the field is so I wouldn't say the field's manageable. The
yeah.
field is manageable. LSU's got a good draw with the exception of Arkansas. I don't know why I'm just so nervous about this game. Like
I mean, it's because Arkansas
it
is the
could literally
best
go
team or
either way.
second best team in the.
It could go either way. Like I
I
really
know.
don't know.
It's a pick 'em. Flip a coin,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
So
So I would assume you're going LSU too.
I'm going LSU.
Yeah, okay. Surprise, surprise. We picked LSU to win the Natty.
Yep.
So now we're gonna do the reseeding real quick while we have a little bit of time left. Um, should we do like who's on? We'll start from the bottom.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Start from the bottom.
Murray State would be the 8 seed in
Yep.
this.
hmm
And then after that, I would probably have Louisville in
Louisville,
7.
Arizona.
Yeah. Arizona 6, UCLA 5,
Yep. Oregon State 4, Coastal
probably
3, LSU 2,
LSU 2.
Arkansas 1.
Yep. Okay. So we're on the same page. I think Coastal Oregon State could flip flop either way.
I'd have
Um,
Coastal above them. I mean,
Probably. I mean,
Coastal has
Oregon State was
53 wins.
okay. Never mind. Yep. Never mind. Yeah, we'll keep them third. Wow.
Jeez,
That is
Coastal
insane.
should be 2. But
It should be a fun World Series.
It's going to be a fun one. Um, Man, Murray State, America's team. Hopefully they can beat UCLA. That'd be really entertaining. Like you said, Oral Roberts feel good story from a few years ago. But yeah, now we just sit back and watch the madness unfold.
hmm Yep. While we're done with that, let me just I'll update Joe on the in case anybody we have any golf fans in here. The U.S. Open's going on in Oakmont, the hardest course in the country. I'll try and pull that up real quick. Bear with me here.
Known golf fan Brock.
Like golf right now, JJ Spawn is still leading. He is 4 under. Some notable names to talk about here. Sam Burns, LSU legend, is 3 under right now. He's tied for second. He's only played 6 holes though. Some other people that see if Colin would or Connor would know. Colin Morikawa, he's 1 under through five.
Morikawa. I do know Morikawa.
Okay, Morikawa. Let's see. Let me get the household name. Jordan Spieth, he's even through five. Let me try and get the people that are done instead of okay. So the people who are done for today at least. Why can I not find anybody? I'm never okay. Ludwig Aberg, he is 2 over in the first round. That's my sleeper pick. He's gonna win a major eventually. I feel like
No,
he's always
Ludwig.
yep, he's
I
always up
have
there.
I have limited golf knowledge.
Yeah, it's an acquired sport for
Yeah,
sure. Same with
100%.
baseball. A couple more notable names. Xander Schauffele, also 2 over.
I don't know him.
Okay. Well, where Bryson DeChambeau, probably everybody. He's kind of the most notable name. Everybody knows him. A lot of people's picked to win. He's 3 over right now. Probably not too happy with himself. I know he's very on the mental side of the game. Some other people, Phil Mickelson.
He's
I'm sure
still
you've heard
golfing.
that. Still golfing. A lot of people think he's going to retire after this tournament. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if that's like public yet. Like if he's definitely retiring, or just people think that
Yeah,
he's four
rumors.
over right now. He's been struggling recently in majors. I don't see where. Hold on. I don't think that Scotty Scheffler. I didn't see his name. So where? Bear with me here. Why is this not?
Rare golf segment on the Big Easy Blitz
Okay,
pod.
Scotty's 1 over right now through
Okay, so
five.
he's in
So
it.
he just teed off. So
Okay.
yeah, that's our probably once every 25 episodes golf segment.
That's the
Um,
first time golf has ever been covered on this
yes, yes,
podcast.
yes.
Both CD and Sam and Big Easy Blitz. So,
Yes. Sam talked
congratulations.
about soccer. I'm going to talk about golf.
Yep.
So that's the trade-off. Speaking of Sam, he will be back soon. Still in
Yes.
the works. We've seen the comments. Everybody seems to want Sam back. And we're trying. Trust me. Sam is a busy man.
Yep. So are
Um,
we. So are we.
that's true. That is true. But yeah, that's gonna do it on episode
15.
15 of the
Yes.
Big Easy Blitz
15.
podcast. Um, should be a good World Series. Starts tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and I would hope that everybody's watching.
Yep. I'm thinking next episode we get into some MLB stuff, but that's for me and Brock to talk about off camera. But yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on all socials at Big Easy Blitz Podcast. And we thank you for listening.
Yep. See you later.
All right.